We have 1 more minute. Just give me a second. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Tess Cherry. I will be your worship associate this morning. Sorry, too many hats today. We welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Corpus Christi, and I'm honored to be your worship associate this morning. To all who are yearning for community, come in, be among us. To all who are just getting started, to all who long to go deeper, to all with tender places needing care, to the ones who have healed and have care to give for those who are curious and hungry to learn, for those who know that they have something to teach, for those who are just beginning to suspect they might nurture others becoming to the young and the old, the innocent and the jaded, the fresh of mind and the deeply steeped. There is room here for each and every one. Come in, be among us. Okay, I was supposed to be handed some announcements. I have not been.
I have one.
Go for it.
I have been changing the AC filter for about 3 years now, and my knees are not up to the task anymore. So I'm looking for someone with better knees to do a 15-minute job 4 times a year.
Okay, so let's recap. This is a 4-time-a-year job, about 15 minutes, and you need good knees. That knocks me out of contention. We'll figure it out. Okay. I don't know what else we have coming up. I know the potluck is today, right? Okay, we have a potluck after church. It is our custom in this church to offer visitors and newcomers a chance to introduce themselves if they feel comfortable doing so. If this is your first time here or you're just ready to say hello after coming for a while, we invite you to stand as you are or raise your hand and tell us your name and where you are from. Ren will bring the mic around so that those who are streaming us may hear you. Are there any visitors or newcomers here today who would like to introduce themselves? All right, going once. Going twice. Sold. No one's going to stand up. All right, I have just been handed the announcements. So here we go. Our hospitality team could use a few smiling faces and extra hands, helping with greeting folks at the door, making coffee, or setting up our time together after the service. If that sounds like something you would enjoy, please see Claire Houlihan after for more details.
Or me.
Or James. Jill Morning Songbird Robinson is the latest artist to grace our hallway with her work. Stop by the hallway and view her stunning quilt designs. Dude, I've seen them. They're awesome. Her exhibit will be up for July and August. If you have art to share, you can get on the waiting list for an exhibit by contacting Debbie Sunderman. Yeah, look at my mama over there. After service today, we will have our all-American potluck. Everyone is welcome to join, even if you didn't bring anything. We have more than enough for all. Okay. Birds. Is that how I'm supposed to pronounce that? Okay, all right. The U2C3 Bird Enthusiast Group will gather at Lisa Cuevas' house at 7 p.m. on Sunday, July 12th for a Purple Martin celebration. If you are interested in attending or would like more information about birds, please talk to Lisa Cuevas or Liz Cook after the service. And we have Liz back there.
Lisa's out.
Oh, there. That's Lisa, if you don't know. Brewing 48 Films will be our next weekend for Corpus Christi 7-day film project. And they're inviting anyone interested to jump in. They need writers, actors, musicians, assistants, all kinds of talent to help create a full short film in just 7 days. If you want to be part of the fun, see Dawn Robinson. Robert, what did I call you? Robinson?
Robert.
Okay.
Son of Robert.
Whatever. I don't mind. I'm sorry. As always, check the information board in the hallway in order of service for regularly occurring events, and scan the QR code for the weekly e-blast where all of our events and more are listed. Okay, now we can go back to this thing. All right, please rise as you are willing and able to join with the choir with the singing of today's opening hymn.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chasing rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat, with weary feet, come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come away with the tears that have watered. We have come, treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out of our gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the path This is our God where we met thee. Blessed our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our native land.
Please be seated. I would like to invite up Zeta to light the chalice while I share these words. The thing about a hero is even when it doesn't look like there's light at the end of the tunnel, he's going to keep digging. He's going to keep trying to do right and make up for what has gone before, just because that's who he is. Joss Whedon. And then this one tickled me, so I have to share it. Every villain is a hero within his own mind. Tom Hendelson. Please rise and embody your spirit for the affirmation of our church covenant. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all we hold sacred. Please be seated.
I thought I was missing a couple.
Please stand and join us if you'd like.
Sorry, guys. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall be free someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday.
my other hat coming on. I would like to invite myself up for the reading of the story for all ages. And I am Tess Cherry, again, your RE coordinator for U2C3. And we are having intergenerational, so kiddos, you get to stay in here with us.
Called A Hero Like You by Nikki Rogers. Let's get started. A hero like you. Is someone a hero because they're strong or smart? Or is it more about what's inside a person's heart? Let's take a look inside this book and see what heroes do. You may find a hero can be someone just like you. Heroes care for people and make sure they're okay. They help the sick get well again, assisting night and day. Heroes are like firefighters, strong and very brave. They risk their lives if there are any people they can save. Heroes care for nature and every living thing. As they work to help the earth, they hear creation sing. Heroes are loyal friends, honorable and brave. They fight for truth and do what's right, even when afraid. Always alert and ready, heroes just know what to do. If someone is in danger, they will race to their rescue. Heroes always do their best to help someone in need. They think of others' feelings and don't act for selfish greed. Heroes take a stand against the things they know are wrong. They fight for justice and protect because their hearts are strong. Heroes can fix broken things. They like to make things better. They use the talents that they have. They're helpful and they're clever. Heroes work hard at their jobs and always do their best, not just to meet their own needs, but so others can be blessed. Heroes find solutions to the problems that we face. They even invent ways to make the world a better place. Heroes are those moms and dads who love their family, teaching and empowering them to be all they can be. Anyone can be a hero, whether girl or boy or man, by helping others, doing right, and being the best they can. So if you see a problem and there's something you can do, then know that what the world needs is a hero just like you. Hope you enjoyed A Hero Like You. See, anyone can be a hero, including you.
No singing the children out. Just a reminder, they're in here with us. After our meditation reading and time of silence, and when the music begins, all who would like to are invited to come to the chalice table and light a candle representing a joy or concern that you may be holding in your heart today. Please come up one at a time using the middle aisle. And let's keep in mind the further lit candles are placed in the sand, the less risk of the next person's hand. If you are with us online today, you are welcome to share your joys and sorrows in the chat feature. Our reading today is entitled Our Heroes and Sheroes by Aidan Abraham. Through the darkness of night and the brightness of day, there's heroes and sheroes who always who's always so bright. With bravery and boldness, with courage and kindness, these characteristics, they save every day. From holding the door to solving a crime, these are their actions they have every day. Through the darkness of night and the brightness of day, there's heroes and sheroes who's always so bright. These heroes and sheroes are only a few. What kind of hero can you be tomorrow?
More than self, their in liberating strife. More than sin, their country love and mercy more than life. Oh, America, America, may God thy gold remind, till all success be fulfilled.
So today's message is going to be a little different. We are having different people come up and share their opinions, reflections on heroes in our lives. And Liz Cook, no, Kirk, you said Cook. Sorry, Kirk will speak first.
Good morning, everybody. When we were asked to select an American hero, it was kind of weird. I almost immediately defaulted to probably my first hero ever in my life, and that was Jackie Robinson. And I'm sure all of you are familiar with who Jackie Robinson was, but you may not be familiar with some of the details that went around his story. Again, I was 10 years old, maybe 9 or 10. I lived in the Los Angeles area, so I was a big Dodger fan. And he had retired by then, but I was aware that he had been a Dodger and that he had been the first African American to play in big league baseball. And I was kind of proud of the Dodgers. I said, it was my team. You know, they were my team they were the first to do this brave thing. So even as a little kid, I was kind of aware of the significance of it. And it was a huge issue. Baseball at the time, it still is, but especially back then, baseball was the sort of unifying American pastime. Rich people could watch it, poor people could watch it, white people could watch it, black people could watch it. Everybody participated in baseball. You know, it was not an elitist or a class culture thing. It really was a universal American thing. This was right after the end of World War II. His rookie year was 1947, so we're 2 years after the end of the war. And you have to think of, you know, we just fought a war. Millions of people had died in this war on both sides. And for us, we'd have to think, well, what was it about? I mean, why were we fighting? And we always talked about the American ideals and democracy and equal opportunity. And there was Jackie Robinson. Blacks had been prohibited from playing big league baseball. And there was an owner of the Dodgers, his name was Branch Rickey, and he made a deliberate decision that they were going to do it. The decision was made probably, he'd been cooking for a while. This was not a spontaneous thing. Jackie, actually that was not his name. You know what his real name was? It was Jack. It was not Jackie, it was just a nickname he picked up. They had selected him quite some time before his rookie year. There were many young African-American athletes who were capable of playing big league baseball, but that wasn't just it. They needed the right guy to do this. Not only would he have to play, he would have to play well. They weren't gonna have someone come up there and be a utility infielder, you know, play 2 or 3 times a week and bat .240. He had to play every day, he had to play well, and he was gonna have to take a lot of stress. And that's why they picked Jackie Robinson. He was the right man for the job at the right time. There was some initial blowback from society at large and even with the Dodgers themselves. There was a petition going around among other team members saying that they were going to boycott the Dodgers. These were Dodger players that had played the previous year. They would not play with a black baseball player. And there was a petition going around the clubhouse. And they were asking different people to sign it. And they were going to give this to Branch Rickey, and they were going to see if they could threaten him out of taking this bold action. And there was another player on the Dodgers that doesn't give the recognition he deserves. He was their shortstop. He was the captain of the team. His name was, I think his real name was George, but his nickname was Pee-wee. So Pee Wee Reese, he was our shortstop. He was from Kentucky, so he was a Southerner. And they felt certain that he would sign their petition. And they gave him the petition, and he knew this was going around, and he wasn't blindsided by this. He looked at the petition, he looked at some of the players that were circulated, and he simply said, no, I don't think I'm going to sign that. And immediately, the whole petition thing just crashed and burned because he was, the captain of the team, just said, no, I don't want to do that. And from his sort of position of leadership, maybe not authority, but just pure moral leadership, they said, oh, maybe this isn't going to be such a good idea. So the petition crashed and burned. The radio announcer for the Dodgers was also a Southerner, and he wasn't sure he wanted to call the games. And he basically backed down as well. So 1947 was his first year. He had a good year, not a great year. His best year was actually 49. He was MVP that year. But he played well. But it was tough. And he actually had an agreement with Mr. Rickey that he would basically keep his mouth shut for the first year. He was going to take a lot of abuse from the stands, from people in the stands. There was a lot of media blowback. He was getting a lot of stress. And he kept his word with Mr. Rickey, and he basically didn't say too much. He stuck to baseball, which is a very difficult thing for him because he was a very proud and he was a very competitive person, which is not surprising for professional athletes. There was one incident, and I don't think it was his rookie year, but his first year, he was actually a first baseman, which he was very close to the stands. And there was one particularly bad day. I mean, there were a lot of bad days, but there was one that was really bad. And he was getting a lot of racial slurs from fans in the stands. And it's sort of a historic event. Again, it was Pee Wee Reese, who was in the infield with him, could hear everything going on as well. And he basically stopped, walked over to Jackie and put his arm around him and just gave him a hug. And that's all he did. And then he walked back to shortstop and the game went on. But it was a really symbolic event. There's a statue of it. It just symbolizes that sometimes it just takes small, courageous actions to stand up for what is right. So along with Jackie Robinson, Branch Rickey, Pee Wee Reese were instrumental in making this a successful experiment. And it was an experiment, and it could have failed, but it didn't. There's some irony in his career, and I'll wrap it up with this. Jackie Robinson wanted to be treated like everybody else, and that's a reasonable thing for him to do. The irony was he was a professional athlete, and like all professional athletes, he passed his prime. He got old, and he wasn't playing at a high level like he was. And the Dodgers did end up treating him just like any other athlete, which is basically like a piece of meat. At the end of the 56 or 57 was his last year with the Dodgers. The Dodgers were going to trade him to the Giants. Now, if you're a Dodger fan, Giants are the arch enemy and have been and still are of the Dodgers. They've been hated rivals for probably 100 years. And Jackie Robinson said, there's no way in hell I'm going to play for the Giants. So he retired. And I admired him for that, not only for being a great baseball player, but having the dignity to stand up to the Giants, who was his arch enemy. So he went out in style, sticking up for the Dodger blue. So the moral, I think, is sometimes you need to dream big, and sometimes it's going to be a struggle. In fact, usually big dreams are difficult to achieve. But you stick to the plan, and there'll probably be setbacks, and you stick to the plan, and hopefully in the long run, it will work out. And that's kind of why Jackie Robinson is my hero, and always has been. Thank you.
Michael, who needs no introduction.
And who really, really, really dislikes having to follow Kirk. My great American hero is Clara Barton. And like all good storytellers, I'll go ahead and start in the middle. I'm a history buff, so I was not only studying the Battle of Antietam, where tragically, we lost more citizens than in any other day in any war. Antietam. And while I was there, walking along what would have been very similar, would have been very close to the front lines, I came across a plaque for someone named Clara Barton. And that's where this story begins, because what I learned was the Union Army, in all of their wisdom, forgot to bring any medical supplies, and Clara Barton showed up with a wagon full of medical supplies. Not only that, but while she was so close to the front lines that while she was putting a dressing on a wounded patient, a 1-ounce ball fired from some musket went through her sleeve and killed her patient. Now, Clara and I have a number of things in common. We're both youngest children. We're both nurses. We're both school teachers. And that's kind of where the similarities end, because she had no formal training as a nurse, incredibly enough. I, on the other hand, was intensely trained, paid, given a commission, and handsomely supported. She's my better. Her actual name is Clarissa Harlow Barton. She was born Christmas Day of 1821. Like I said, the youngest of 5, but not a clown like myself and most other youngest. She started as a school teacher because she had a phrenologist. That's a pseudoscience where they look at your cranium and decide what your characteristics and liabilities and strengths might be. And whoever did this said that she should be a school teacher. So whenever she was 18 years old, she became a school teacher. Whenever she was 24 years old, she founded a school, and that school was for the children of the workers at her brother's mill. She actually came from a fairly successful farming family. Backing up to the key years, in 1931, she had already established a number of schools, and she was appointed to the U.S. Patent Office as a recorder. Now, she was the first woman who was ever appointed to that job. So you can imagine that there was just a little bit of friction there. And so she was demoted to avoid paying her as much as they did to a copyist, whatever that was. And then they simply eliminated that job to get rid of her, because she was also part of the suffrage movement, and I imagine being the only woman in the workplace was a little bit on the noisy side. At least I can hope so. After the war, She traveled to Europe. First, it occurs to me that I should ask you a question or a favor. Everybody that has ever owned a first aid kit, please raise your hand. Oh, very good. We'll get back to that. She, after the war, she traveled to Europe to recover her health. I know not what kind of problems she was having, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was TB or some such. And that's where she was in Switzerland and learned about the International Red Cross. She was impressed with this. She came back to the United States and she founded and was the first president of the American Red Cross. This was a 12-year effort of speaking, writing and passing out pamphlets, and she also, at the age of 60, became the first president of the American Red Cross. At the ripe age of 83, she founded the National First Aid Association of America, and that's why we all have first aid kits. She's part of our language. She passed away at the ripe age of 90, and this is not a eulogy, so I'll stop right there, and I hope that you will learn more about this great American humanist and humanitarian. Have a great Sunday.
And now, Kathy?
Hi everyone. When I was asked to, my name is Kathy Westergren, Chatty Kathy, as y'all know, most of y'all. When I was asked to, if I had an American hero to speak on, I immediately thought of Sally Ride. I remember doing, you know how a lot of kids want to be an astronaut for a long time? Do any of y'all, oh, Zane's shaking his head, no. But when I was young, I wanted to be an astronaut a lot longer than most kids. I still wanted to in 9th grade, and we had to write a paper, and I chose Sally Ride, our first American female astronaut in space. And the more I learned about her, the more I admired. I actually picked up, sorry y'all, I picked up the sport of tennis because Sally Ride, for a little while there, was actually considering going pro in terms of tennis. She was really she was a nationally ranked junior tennis player. And she was very involved in science. So she really struggled between a science career and a career in tennis. And that to me was just really fascinating. So I just picked up a racket and started playing. I admired that. I admired that she answered a newspaper ad to apply to be one of the American female astronauts, and was selected out of like something like 800 for that group of, I think it was a small number that was trained, like 11, 14, something like that. And then she was randomly selected to be the one to go on the first mission. Now, other things I admired about her is she got married in jeans. I thought that was the coolest thing. If you notice, I'm wearing jeans. I've never considered myself to be the most stereotypical girly girl, so the idea of marriage did not appeal to me until I realized, you mean you can get married in jeans? Now, part of that, though, was her and her husband, who was another astronaut. They didn't have a lot of time to get married, so they were just trying to rush to get married. So fast forward just a few years later in my life, I was living in Boulder, Colorado, actually in Longmont, Colorado, and there was the public library had one of those little book sales, you know, buy these books cheap, and I bought or maybe I checked it out and then bought it later, but it was a biography on Sally Ride. And I learned in that book that actually she was bisexual. So she had a lifelong female partner that she never felt like she could talk about during her life. And her partner, I think it was a little bit of a bone of contention, because as the years went on, her partner definitely wanted to be, it was known amongst their friends, but not really known until she passed away. I think it did come out at some point. But I think that she kind of, a lot of UUs here, since we're a welcoming congregation, might find something in Sally Ride's story, whether it's tennis, getting married in jeans, finding it inspirational that she at least felt comfortable to have a partner of the same sex, even if she wasn't comfortable sharing it. She was very involved in children, wrote a lot of books about children, science books, for children, rather. And she was just an inspiration to me. Even though she passed away, I believe, in 2012, and she did get a posthumous Medal of Honor from President Obama in 2013, which, she's got that in common, I guess, with Rush Limbaugh. But, it is what it is. But there's always something we can find good in everyone, even if we don't find every aspect of their story to be inspirational. I'm sure the same can be said about each of us. We try to focus on the good in terms of celebrating our 250 years. I've been reading a lot of interpretations on that, so that's good.
Now is the time we participate in the care of our church community by giving and receiving the offering. If you are contributing to your pledge today, be sure to write "pledge" on your check or cash envelope. The ushers will present the offering basket to you, and all you have to do is drop your offering in. In addition to the basket, for those joining us at home, we have several options for making your offering. Please use the links on screen to give through our website, by PayPal, or by using the Venco mobile app. Your offering, no matter how you make it, will gratefully be received. You can stand as you're willing and able to sing the song.
Feel free. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her golden desert. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining, then I was strolling, with wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, and a voice came chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Joy has our closing reading for the day.
On the 250th anniversary, I wrote a poem, because I write poems. This is called How to Create a Democratic Republic That Lasts for 250 Years. It's a recipe poem. The ingredients are flour gathered from the heartlands, clear Pacific Northwest water that remembers every season, New England sea salt, enough to make us honest, a patient spoonful of Midwestern yeast, Carolina or Georgian sesame seeds for hope, time, history itself as its measure. Use the measurements of memories, the warmth of a neighbor holding the screen door open, the smell of chicory coffee beside the ballot box, Kentucky porch swings creaking through difficult conversations, tropical rain on a concession speech, sore feet after marching together, a child's fingerprints on the oven glass, instructions, wash your hands, bring everyone to the table, leave no empty chair. Mix gently. Every hand changes the dough. Some arrive early, some late. All leave a trace. Knead until disagreement becomes strength. And if it cracks, add listening instead of force. Let the loaf rise where everyone can watch. Trust always grows slowly in shared light. Brush the crust with Wisconsin butter and scatter sesame seeds like small promises. They need not match to belong. Bake until the outside is crisp enough to weather storms and the inside stays warm enough to welcome strangers. If it burns, cut away the char and begin again, but save what still nourishes. Cool it on a table large enough for another chair to invite a new friend. Slice generously and pass the bread before passing judgment. When the timer breaks, knock on the crust, listen, census the center. If it is still raw, return it to the heat of honest questions, and if the crust has grown too hard, soften it with humility. Keep this recipe in a tin above the White House stove, stained with flour and fingerprints of every race and creed, and change it as the family grows. Serve, not a perfect loaf, just crusty on the outside, warm in the middle, braided from many hands, scattered with sesame seeds, and shared around a table, sturdy enough for the next generation.
As we leave this friendly place, love give light to every face. May the kindness which we light our hearts till we return.
Go now in peace and celebrate 250 years. Potluck! Potluck! Don't forget about the potluck.